Hey guys, Andrew here. Thanks for checking out another episode of Exoverse TV. Just wanted to let you know real quick that you can find polls and other updates related to the podcast by following us at ExoverseTV on Twitter. You can also follow Exoverse Media on Twitter and Facebook as well. Short and sweet note this time. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the show. Okay.
Hey. Sorry, Jason.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew here. I got Derek and Danny from the Retox podcast with me. Are you guys want to say hello?
Hi. Oh, I suppose. Yes, hello.
We took a quick little breather, but we're all just still hanging out here from episode 4. And we started talking about where the hell we think Game of Thrones is going to go from here. We just wrapped up our review of episode 3, The Long Night. And really, there's just about a 30-second teaser of what's coming up in episode 4, and then a couple of things that maybe some actors and the producers have mentioned during the press tour stuff and all that. And that's all we have to go on for what is coming in the next 3 episodes. All 3 of these next 3 episodes are 80-some-odd minutes apiece. So we're looking at 4 hours left of story to tell.
Thinking it's something like 78 and then 2 back-to-back 80-minute ones.
Okay.
So, but again, yes, all in the neighborhood of about 3 episodes, but about 4 hours.
Yeah. So
lots to be done yet.
Yeah. So I mean, there's still tons of story left without us having very many clues about what's coming. We just rewatched the little preview trailer for episode 4.
We didn't. I did. You guys listened, and I felt like a jerk. But
I was like, oh, he's going to turn it around. He didn't.
No. Okay, but Danny, what were your initial thoughts after watching that brief?
As I mentioned to you, it's just like
is there still sunlight?
I see these ships like going down, presumably to King's Landing or like Dragonstone to like orchestrate the attack or whatever. And I'm like, they still have army left. Like
because they have the Targaryen flag.
They definitely weren't Greyjoy ships.
Yeah.
And you got like Rhaegal flying over, who, shout out to Rhaegal, you didn't really know, sort of like you kind of crash lands, and it's like, all right, Dad, I'm gonna take this one out for a little bit. And John's like, it's all right, I'm not really good at this whole dragon flight thing anyway.
Yeah, if we did get one nice thing out of that little clip is we did get confirmation that Rhaegal did survive as well as Ghost.
Yeah, I must have missed it again. I didn't see Ghost, but I've seen like the stills of Ghost.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, he's standing there with them as they're about to light the bodies on fire in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Memoriam moment there. So yeah,
not that that's even a thing anymore. Like, I mean, I guess
it's
out of
just
ceremony.
playing it safe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wonder if it's just what they think that those people would want done to their bodies, just so that
old
this
habits,
could not happen.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's just like where we don't know where this is going. Could this be the end of the Night King? Yes, it's a sigh of relief.
On the
and
next
it looks
episode,
like
we just find out he was the Night Duke. Like the king is still out there somewhere.
Oh shit!
Well, is Bran's scar gone? Like, is there some kind of mysticalness of that?
That entire 100,000 body army was the scout team.
It's like, how many people did you actually think were up north?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and like we got into a little bit with the last episode. I think a lot of people are just, if they have any sort of like upset feelings about where the show is right now, I think it's just because of the uncertainty. Because we just really, it could genuinely go any way at this point. If the Night King ends up taking out the entire North, if all of our favorite characters die up north, then we're kind of like left with the South to root for Cersei and stuff like that, and we don't nobody wants that. Like,
not true. There's some.
This is what we wanted, though. We wanted this conflict. We wanted somehow like the Northerners to outlast this unwinnable war, so they could duke it out with Cersei.
Mm-hmm. And but to kind of go, there's a lot of unpopular belief that Cersei should rule the throne, be the one, maybe not where our heroes die, but she wins the throne. Like there's unpopular belief about that, and it makes it interesting. I mean, if we all root for the same team in sports, it's kind of
that's true. Yeah.
I don't know that she's necessarily a bad queen. Like I mean, like we haven't really gotten to look at her policies. Like that's she's a doer. She's definitely a doer.
Yeah, behind closed doors, kind of not nice. Yeah. But yeah, it's
That'd be funny though. Yeah, she's all like decriminalizes pot.
Yeah.
like all this.
We
stuff
don't know
that-
the state of the
She
economy
just
of
wants
King's
to
Landing
slaughter
right
her
now.
brothers. That's really, I mean, that's just the cuntiest thing about her at this point.
We just don't know. Maybe King's Landing's on the up. Like maybe unemployment's down
Yeah.
or something. Like I just have a hard time, But in the old, like when Joffrey was king, the people had no issues telling him, like, "Yeah, you suck as a king."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
yeah, you never know. Like, I mean, it could be just like someone coming over to Turlock and like, we're going to take over. It's like, man, we just started turning this shit around. Like,
Yeah.
damn. But yeah, it's I do kind of like the people rooting for her. Not necessarily rooting, but thinking
like
she's
the
gonna
civilians of King's Landing.
No, I just mean fandoms.
Fandoms.
Yeah.
Okay.
People watching the show thinking, not necessarily rooting for her, but thinking, you know what? I think she ends on the throne.
Yeah.
It's an unpopular.
Again, is her claim any less valid than Daenerys is at this point?
Right, because
Daenerys isn't
it
the
gets
natural
tricky.
successor at this point. So I mean, like,
everybody's a usurper at a certain.
Yeah.
If you go further back,
sure, the Targaryens were usurpers.
exactly. So, yeah, it's
Where the I mean, so where the vibe I got was that the Targaryens were the first to unite the Seven Realms, and by unite I mean scare the shit out of everybody
Yeah,
by
they
burning everything with
conquered.
dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, Robert Baratheon was the original usurper, but again, if it all comes out in the wash, the only person who legitimately, from a bloodline standpoint, at what point is there a statute of limitation on being a usurper? Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, like the Baratheon now Lannister line has been in power for long enough to where it's like, well, I think this is just the way things are now. So.
yeah. And is anything voided when when the last couple of kings were actually just Baratheon bastards? You know what I mean?
The whole thing is just
Anything
like,
null and void.
Should we just maybe switch to a different thing? Like
Yeah.
maybe this we just need a fresh new type of government.
Everybody's like, dude, the Night's Watch does it. They just vote.
They just
like,
vote.
yeah. So, I think the only way that I can begin to predict where they're headed is based on who's directing the episodes.
Yeah.
So, I guess this next episode 4 is David Nutter's farewell episode on the series, and he's done.
Shout out to a great porn name, by the way.
Yeah, he's done. He's given us like the Red Wedding. And he's so he's directed some major episodes. He's directed other ones that I didn't write down here that I wish I had now. I wish I could list off about one or more that really stands out to me. But he's been with the series for a very long time, and he's given us some very, very major moments. Kit Harington mentioned in an interview recently, it doesn't have anything to do with his character or anything. It's just this actor's take on, or his opinion on what he does and doesn't like of the story, I guess, is he's very excited about this episode. So,
okay. Because I've heard contrary, maybe not contrary, but a different take.
Okay, from another cast member,
different cast member. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you hear?
No, finish your thought. Yeah.
So so episode 4, I am kind of wondering if we can expect a big revelation. It might not be some kind of twist, shocking death, but a big revelation of some sort might be possible. And then, of course, episode 5 is supposed to be our last big battle episode. That is supposed to be a big battle episode. Amelia Clarke.
That's the one I was getting to.
Threw out to everybody, find the biggest TV you can, all this kind of stuff. Episode 5 is going to be huge.
She did the whole, like, episode 4 is good, but episode 5 and 6, like, she...
And 5 is directed by Miguel Sapochnik, who just did The Long Night, who did episode 3. And he's done most of the big battle episodes. Miguel Sapochnik did Battle of the Bastards, I believe. I think he did Blackwater as well.
What about Castle Black? Maybe I just want.
Yeah,
that would have been.
I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, Hard Home. So the.
I have two other big episodes he did. He did The Dance of Dragons and Mother's Mercy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Episodes. Yeah.
David Nutter, you mean?
David Nutter.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I do know that about our directors, and then the last episode directing credit goes to the Benioff and Weiss. Benioff and Weiss.
Okay.
They co-directed the final episode. So that's enough for me to sort of be able to start speculating on what the feel of the episodes might be and things like that. But yeah, it's so tough to try and gauge, like, with this big sort of, I guess you could call it a twist. It just depends on your feelings about Arya's character and Game of Thrones as a whole through the first 7 seasons. But the fact that Arya ends up killing the Night King, while a lot of people may have just assumed it'd be Jon, just based on classic structure of the story. So when you consider that Game of Thrones was going to throw a bunch of twists in anyways, and they're still surprising us 8 years later, even when we're trying to outsmart them when it comes to that, it's like
we've already done all the math. We know.
Yeah.
Like,
so we can sit here. So, it won't do us much good to try and predict what we think will happen. But what I thought might be fun was to talk about what we want to happen with these last 3 episodes, with the players that we still have left. What would you like to see take place over these last 3 episodes? Certain storylines that you absolutely want to see tied up in a neat little bow. Who is there going to be an Iron Throne even left to sit on at the end? I don't, whatever.
Yeah, no, again, I think we talked about this back when we did our initial episode, but I have this feeling that the end will result in, like, some form of destruction of said throne. Like, it just feels like it's going towards that. And, like, the rebuilding and reshaping of a new world or whatever, whomever is left in all of this. And it might even still be the big 3 players.
Yeah.
I think an interesting feeling I got after seeing what Arya did is that, like, much in the same way I felt the episode before, not that it ended up being in, like, their demise or anything like that, but, like, with a Brienne of Tarth or even a Tormund, Arya's loop is kind of closed, in my opinion. Like, I mean, at this point, like, in the grand, it would be a shocking death, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I could see it now.
Yeah,
like she's done her part in all of this,
especially because you wouldn't want to see her character also get Cersei now, I think. Would you agree with that?
No, yeah,
like,
that would just be like...
It's like, what is this? This whole thing was just Arya's story then? Yeah,
because then at that same point, you're doing the same thing as why was it not Jon Snow that got the Night King? It's like, well, why isn't now Arya... No, we're passing the gauntlet. Everyone deserves a heroic fucking moment.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Arya has now done, you would think...
So Sansa kills Cersei.
Again, the greatest thing that she could have done has already been completed.
Yeah. Same thing with Bran, I think, possibly. I mean...
Yeah, but I think just Bran being who he is has that role to play in this. He's just...
And sometimes the best...
He's the history keeper.
Yeah. And sometimes the best things to do is to do nothing.
Yeah. He'll probably go off. Like, I mean, by the end of the... Like, Bran will be...
Hermit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wherever he... Maybe just sits in Winterfell and just...
goes and fathers the children of the woods and all that stuff.
Yeah. What do you think happens between Jon and Dany? Do you think that they're both...
I still think one of them dies.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, but I keep leaning one way or the other. I get the vibe that one of them is going to die.
Okay.
There's the foreshadowing about the... And maybe we've already seen it, but like the... when the 3 are standing up on the ramparts of Winterfell and they're talking about how nothing lasts or something like that. Like, again, like, because it is so good and so innocent, and even by the end of that episode, it's ruined.
Would you like to see... let's say that main storylines come to a conclusion mostly by the end of maybe episode 5, and then maybe beginning of season 6, episode 6, they wrap up the final thing, maybe the first half of that episode, Cersei finally dies.
Or still a continuation of the battle or something. Like, maybe the battle doesn't quite end. Because that's the thing, I don't think the battle can end in episode 5. I think it's going to have to spill over into 6.
That'd be cool, since you're right. I mean, they usually always end at the end of the episode, so this would be...
Because then
new.
Season episode 6 would just be like, all right, so... to me, it feels like you could probably spend the first half of that episode completing the battle in whatever way that need be, and then
with who we have left, we're not going to have many feel good resolution moments. I think we'll have some where we move on from here, But I don't. We have a long list, but of people are still alive. But I don't.
But keep in mind, this is what you would like to see
Right,
versus
true.
what you think.
Yeah,
like
true.
it's not about oh, I don't want to be on recorded on audio guessing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? It's we definitely. I don't know because I don't even know if we're going to end up with like 4 of these people left when it's all said and done, or if it's going to be 12 or what. So for me, I start to just think about what I kind of think, what I would hope the last closing shots would be. Like, do I want it to be some sort of Lord of the Rings thing where everybody who's left is doing, or like a end of A New Hope, like Star Wars, where like the last of everybody that's left is celebrating in some big do you want things wrapped up that way? Would you like the closing shots to be something like Dany approaching the throne that's been completely destroyed in whatever this last battle was, and then us just assuming that, like, it kind of doing some sort of fade to black kind of a thing? Like,
well, I mean, I hope that Dany and Cersei's just work it out and power it out as 2 strong women. And
there you go.
I like an interesting ending.
Co-vice president.
An interesting assistant to the regional. Assistant to the regional realm leader.
Well, now there's this. You have the argument now that she's not entitled, and now that could be Dany. And so now it's just like, well, okay, then could we all just live in? I've already built all this. I don't want to lose it, but can we all live in peace and all that stuff? And John, I don't have any entitlement over the North anymore, over you. And also Cersei, hey, we could all benefit each other in a happier world and stuff. That'd be cool. I don't think it's going to go that way, but, everyone hopes for a good... Hey, the dead are dead.
Yeah.
We can get rid of that slogan.
Yeah.
So...
Shit.
Yeah. So is winter over now?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I've heard a lot of people wonder that online, and I don't think that winter is going to not happen anymore.
Yeah, that's my take, too.
So some people were, like, nitpicking
I think winter
preview.
Helped facilitate, winter is just a season.
Yeah.
Because, it's not as if the Night King was always present, these winter
past
seasons.
Winters, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't need... they could have just... They didn't need to make up a thing like The Long Night if it was just, he brings the cold.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he brings all that snow. Like, I think it's clear that...
Winter's coming more... It was more like, we need to last the winter. Oh, the Night King's coming too? Well, that fucking sucks.
Oh, this super winter. Yeah. So, okay.
Jack Frost.
Do we need for right now?
Okay. Sometimes the audio thing needs us to kind of take a slight pause.
We got a little bit.
Okay.
But, so things I'd like to see. I would like to see some of these characters that we are... I'm not of the mindset that I think everybody does need to die. Like, I'd like to see...
Right, I hope not.
The rebranding of some of these great houses. Like, I'd love to see Tyrion take his seat on Casterly Rock.
Cool.
Like, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Or even Jaime.
That is a nice thought. Both of them. Why not both of them?
Yeah.
He's going to need a general.
So, I think that'd be great. There's a part of me that thinks... obviously, Jaime probably ends up dead. Like, once his loop sort of closes, I have the idea that like a lot of people have for a long time, that he's going to be the one who eventually does in Cersei. One last stabbing.
Yeah.
Is it 2?
The always Kingslayer. The King and the Queenslayer.
Yeah.
But God, what if he had been the one to take the Night King out? It's like, this is all you do, isn't it? Like, this is just what you do.
Where's Jaime? He's just like, he's stuck. Let's go get him.
Yeah, I'd like that.
He's got a job to do.
I'd like to see what happened in Dorne in some capacity, I guess.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people.
What's happening in Dorne whatsoever? I don't know. There's a lot. I know it's a show that it's so expansive, and we want to see everything that's happening that matters.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of world that doesn't pertain to these battles themselves.
Or maybe we just didn't quite realize how decimated they were when Euron hit them.
Yeah, but.
Because they were there.
That was the Greyjoy fleet.
It was the Greyjoys and Dorne.
I thought they were going to rally the Dornish.
Oh, I thought it was both.
Oh, so that was my mindset.
Okay,
I didn't think the soldiers of Dorne were there.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that became.
That makes sense then why everybody's wondering. Because okay. So then that's my fault. Yeah.
No, that's the vibe that I got.
Well, you didn't do anything wrong.
That's true.
Don't put all the guilt on yourself.
I'm intrigued, I guess, to see just how this whole battle goes out. at the end of the day, they still can't take out 2 dragons. Like again, like the entire undead army couldn't take out 2 dragons,
and that's why they keep reminding us in the opening the opening credits. Now they keep pointing out that ballista, that Qyburn, design that keeps showing up now.
Drogon already got shot though.
Yeah. But
I mean,
they want
guess,
us. They want us to know that they've got him, though. You know what I mean? So there's a.
Do you think we're gonna get our Bronn moment in this next episode?
Bronn moment meaning that he's gonna.
Like he's gonna come upon the. Because I don't think for even a second.
Ooh, you know what? Maybe, yeah.
I don't think for even a second that again, like Bronn is one of those characters that like. I thought again in this show you'll see little moments where you can see them change. We talked about it a little bit in the last episode with Theon when he sees the kids that he burned, starts his change. There was another one that I can't recall right now. But with Bronn, it really boiled down for me in the caravan attack scene when he loses his
gold.
I lost my gold.
Yeah,
but
where's my loot?
Again, is thrown from his horse, and the gold satchel rolls out, and he looks at it, and rather than go for it, he goes for the ballista.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I thought he was gonna die. Like and as I'm watching that unfold, I'm like, he's gonna die. He finally made the heroic choice, and now he's gonna be rewarded with being burned to death. So I mean, I already think he has changed in that aspect.
Okay.
I think his allegiance to Jaime and Tyrion outweighs his desire for, gold and riches and stuff of that nature. So I have a hard time believing that that's going to be the case. I don't see him being able to do them in.
Cool. And also, I think that you're saying, that Bronn, he's not for a single second is he actually going to kill either one of those 2 guys. But, Tyrion points out to Jaime that he's known who Cersei was the whole time and loved her anyways, right? Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes sense that he would need to be told by Bronn, hey, guess what your sister hired me to do? You know what I mean? As a way of maybe finally pushing him over the
straw
edge
that breaks the camel's back
to where he will kill her. You know what I mean? So that he will be willing to go ahead and kill her and have sort of that Vader and the Emperor moment at the end of the show.
That is true. I mean, we give almost too much credit to the idea that, this should be easy for him. And it's like, it can't be, though.
Right, because he could have done it a bunch of times already. I mean, all their kids were already killed. I mean, before he found out about this potential last pregnancy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of opportunity for that in the past, and we've seen reasons why. I mean, he's expressed. I remember the scene when they have sex on Joffrey's dead body or whatever.
Yeah,
doesn't he say something like? Why did the gods make me love a hateful woman? Like, he knows she's a piece of garbage, and he hates that he loves her, but he just can't help it and can't shake it. And this might be the thing that can finally turn that around.
The show has so much like callbacks to past events and stuff of that nature. So for me, the idea that maybe he kills her for the sake of the greater good, the same way he killed Aemon Targaryen.
Yeah.
Like, what if it comes down to I'm about to blow up this whole city thing again.
Yeah.
I mean, while a part of it would be like, oh, well, we should have saw that coming. Like that just to, I don't know. I have a hard time feeling that anyone else could kill her and it would feel justified.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's say, so I think we're all basically in agreement that we really don't know how to predict where the show's going to go in the last 3 episodes. That's all right.
Which is like kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy that I don't have a bunch of footage from these next 3 episodes.
There's still the hints, which we've talked about in past episodes, the shadow of the dragon over King's Landing.
Oh, yeah.
Dany walking through a torn open throne room.
Yeah, but a lot of that's kind of, again, a lot of that I thought had to do with more of like those felt like callbacks to the North.
True.
In the books, apparently those moments are supposed to be things that literally will take place. I don't know if the show was sort of maybe
just playing with it.
Yeah, like maybe showing us things that could happen based on decision. We'll see. It depends on what the characters decide to do.
Yeah.
It could have been stuff like that. So then let's just go ahead and go through. I got a whole.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Was I losing volume?
a little bit.
Okay.
Going in and out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I got a list here of everybody in Westeros.
You have a list of names
that is still alive.
Do you repeat it before you go to bed?
I
at
do.
night?
Yep. It's part of my prayer. Hot Pie's actually at the top of my list every night, though.
It's a dire wolf.
He gave me diabetes.
I just really want his business to do well.
Yeah. Well, who's his customer base anymore?
Pretty sure he's going to be the one to do in the mountain. He's just going to kick him in the balls to death.
Yep. Hot Pie's hot mine.
Yep. So when the credits roll, who will still be alive? I'm just going to go through one by one. You guys can just let me know real quick what you think. Alive or dead? Jon Snow.
No.
Alive.
Alive?
No.
I'm going to say alive. Daenerys.
I was saying no. Daenerys?
Yeah.
No.
Dead?
So they're both going to be dead?
I think both will.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Wow.
You know what? When I first started this, I said, when we did that initial episode, I was pretty sure she was going to die. But I think the scene that I thought she was going to die in already passed.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time finding out when she could die now. But again, she is just very sort of useless in things that are non-bad. I think she would be a great ruler. So I think I want her to live. So I'll say that she'll live.
Okay. I want her to live. I do think she will die.
I realized I would
like Jon Snow to live.
I started this whole thing like, oh, one of them's going to die. And I said they're both going to live.
Yeah. And I think
it just shows you how I can't
Hey.
I can't tell you who it is.
Good job, HBO.
It'll be a shock regardless.
Yeah. Sansa.
live.
Yeah, she's going to live. She's the Lady of Winterfell.
Yeah, I think so. I
don't think she won't be involved in going down south anyway. Like giggity.
Well, if she doesn't, what will this? Will we see her at all? Then will this next episode be her farewell or something?
I think she's proven her standpoint on thriving, making the North thrive.
You mean so? You think this would be the last time we'd even see her in the show? Is when they leave?
I'm wondering.
That's why I think season 6 is going to be a little
episode 6.
Sorry, 6.
Yeah.
Episode 6
too. Yeah.
That was a callback.
Episode 6 is going to be the completion of whatever battle takes place in 5, and then 6 it'll be an overview of kind of the way the rest of the world is.
Okay.
So again,
that'd be cool.
We'll get a look.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay. All right. Arya.
I can go either way on Arya.
I kind of get the vibe she's going to die now.
Yeah.
I do too. It wasn't until that happened, but she's kind of done her thing.
She got
you don't come. I don't know. It's just hard to come back. You can't top taking out the Night King.
Yeah, you're just not rewarded for your good deeds in Westeros like that.
If you pursue after that, you're gonna die. You could retire now.
Yes.
And live out your days, Arya, but it's not gonna happen.
Because she's going to be going down there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true. But we did just strike the new love interest with Gendry and all that stuff. We don't know. I don't know. I think it could go either way with her.
Okay. Bran.
Yeah, I think he stays.
I think he'll live.
I kind of think he dies, but I'm not necessarily saying that it's because he's killed by somebody or murdered. I just sort of picture seeing. I have this weird feeling,
like a Luke Skywalker Force Ghost sort of thing.
Well, the way that the first Three-Eyed Raven kind of just feathered out. Remember when he got killed by the Night King and he kind of just turned into feathers and faded away? I almost wonder if we'll see something like that. See,
if he does go, it'd be some form of caterpillar butterfly thing.
Okay, yeah.
It's Bran's gone. Well, he's already said Bran. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
He's kind of here still. If anything, if he does go, it's the Three-Eyed Raven takes over.
I swear, what's going to happen is he's like, I have to leave now.
And he gets up and
he's
walks
going to get up and walk away.
Fucking dick. That shit was really uncomfortable.
Oh, shit. All right, Cersei, alive or dead?
Dead.
Oh,
Dead.
I think all 3 top tiers die, and I think they rebuild with Thunder.
Okay. Jaime.
Dead. I don't want him to.
I want him to be alive. This is an episode about things we want. I want Jaime to be alive.
Okay. I also want Jaime to be alive. However, I think it was was more likely that he would die before this last episode, but I think only because of I want some broken people left when this is all said and done. I don't want every character to redeem themselves through death.
Yeah.
Understandable.
And so now that Theon's gone, Jorah to a lesser extent, obviously his betrayal.
Again, it was a betrayal of the person he swore to protect.
I just kind of am really hopeful then, and because of that reason, that's why Jaime's still around when it's over.
Okay, I like that.
Tyrion. What about Tyrion?
Live.
I think he's got to live.
Yeah, I think he lives.
And now that I say that, I think Jaime's gonna die.
I like your Casterly Rock idea. That'd be nice.
It's
has a peaceful aura about it, a vibe about it. That just...
Because it was such a powerful scene when he got denied from his father. Mm-hmm. That scene was really cool.
he would never be the heir to it. And I remember the scene. It was probably in 4, like early in 4. It was a Jaime Tywin scene, and him being so upset that Jaime joined the Knight's Guard or the King's Guard because he was the heir to Casterly Rock. Gave his life up for servitude because he wanted to be with Cersei.
Yeah.
So naturally it should have fallen to Tyrion, but it was never going to.
Yeah.
Tywin was going to do everything to ensure that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But that lends me to believe that so if Tyrion does become the head of Casterly Rock, it would probably be because he's no longer the hand of the queen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just.
And he did maybe give us a hint that he did sort of foreshadow. I mean, he said it to Jorah and Varys. One's dead already, but that one of the two of you may be wearing this when this is all said and done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that could play out exactly that way, depending on how much more Varys has to do with the story. Things like that. What about Euron?
I've changed my mind. Daenerys is going to die.
Daenerys
Yeah,
dead?
yeah.
Oh shit.
But anyway, Euron's super dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Super duper
Euron
dead.
is super dead, and I'm extremely annoyed that he's not super dead already.
It's got to be by the right hands, though. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be Yara. A part of me feels that again, we're not seeing. I don't know where all these armies come from. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But once news gets out that they defeated the dead, whatever remaining Greyjoy fleet is left will come and join the battle for them, claim for House Targaryen. And again, I do still think the Dornish could be in play.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it'd be cool.
They're armies that you don't currently see yet.
Yeah. What about maybe the because I do have Dario Naharis on the list.
I was thinking about that when I saw his name. Yeah,
I thought maybe the Second Sons make a return. I don't know if that'd be the I don't know exactly how that scene would play out on screen, but
just bringing over more brown people.
Well, are the Second Sons are they?
I just assume everyone over there is.
I just assume they all look like Dario, and more like Italian or something.
Something Mediterranean.
Yeah. But I think that'd be kind of cool just because, his character was awesome. I think it'd be a little bit, we don't have time. I don't want to mess around too much with a bunch of awkward stare downs between him and Jon or anything if, because he was her lover over there.
I'm very curious to see if that just kind of picks. Obviously, there's a huge rift in that now.
Oh yeah, with Dany and Jon.
Yeah, that's just got to be it's something that they never really got to address because as soon as he divulges it to her, it's by the way, war now.
Yeah, but it's going to be enough just for the two of them to hash it out, whether they do or not. I don't know that I want to in these last 3 episodes have a little play on a love triangle thing or whatever. But it would still be kind of cool if the Second Sons came and helped out if they were able to skip over any of that. But okay, so I don't know if we even see Dario Naharis or what, but if we do, whether or not we see him again, I think he'll be alive when the story's over. I'll be able to.
If we don't see him again, yes, I will assume he's alive. Yeah. If he comes through, probably dead.
Probably dead. 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
Okay. Bronn.
I think he lives.
Bronn lives.
I think he'll finally, rightfully deserve his.
Yeah, I'd like.
I hope.
His fucking castle.
I think after everything, he will rightfully. Yeah. The way I'd say, not think, the way I'd like it to go.
I'll say
lives. For him to rightfully get his his treasure.
I'd like to see Bronn alive. It is hard for me to know one way or the other, but I do hope he's alive. What about Davos?
I think he stays alive.
Yeah,
He seems like one of those characters that I kind of hope like at the end is just like the end of the last scene is Davos just like reading this story, telling this story.
Or better yet, like writing down the histories of this or something. Like it's something he couldn't have done to begin this.
Well, that's probably Sam because Davos. Oh, because he's now knows how to write.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just seems like one of those just like, let me tell you the tale.
Okay, what about Yara?
Lives. And I think she's probably the one who does in Euron.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I agree.
I'm gonna say
I like the sound of that.
that she accomplishes her goal and kills Euron, but I'm gonna say she dies.
So then the Iron Islands just fall into no longer... Because they're the last two Greyjoys. He said it himself.
Yeah, you are right about that. Yeah, maybe I am sort of being a little bit... I'm looking over the Iron Islands a little bit, like, oh, they'll be fine. They'll figure it out. But...
We've lost everyone. It's going to be an abandoned...
well, they vote.
It's three big rocks.
How many people can we actually fit on this place?
Yeah, so, you're right. Maybe she has to live for that reason. What about Varys, though?
Varys has to die. Melisandre said it.
Yeah,
That's true. She did say it, and I guess it'd be kind of silly if it was like, oh, that could have been now or 30 years from now.
Well, they could present him with a situation, which I think would also be nice. Like, your services and blah, blah, blah would be nice here. It's like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to stay here. And that's kind of hint that he will live out his life here and he will also die here.
Okay.
For sure. I thought it was a little prophetic, and I feel like I can hear his audible gulp when when she goes out there and he dies. Like, oh shit! Like she maybe knows some things.
Yes, I think he lives.
Okay.
At least through the extent of this show.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Qyburn.
Dies.
Come on. He's got to die.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I hope so.
Love that mad scientist though.
Yeah. He's pretty cool.
He is.
I like how we meet him.
Check this out, Morty.
I like how we meet his character.
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one who tends to Jaime initially, is he not?
He's almost dead. He's in one of those northern towns when Rob's army comes through, and they're like, "Fuck, we just got blindsided over here." And I liked that. But then I thought it was really cool
he's got a pretty meteoric rise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool how he kind of I don't know. I think that another show would have made him an automatic good guy, sort of because he was found by the Northerners. You know what I mean? He was discovered by them and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty interesting. I've even lost track off the top of my head how he ends up being with Jaime.
Yeah. Again, it was initially just to tend to his wound, I think.
And then
he travels with him, and then kind of just...
Was that just to keep him from...
What if it's him who does in Cersei, and as he stabs her, he's like, the North remembers.
Yeah, that'd be fucking dope. The Hound.
Why this whole time? It's like, you had some really cool shit for me to play with.
Yeah.
The Hound?
You let me build ballistas.
Lives?
Yes. I do think the Hound lives.
I think he defeats the Mountain, which I know is probably up here on this list. But again, in the instance of loop closing, he really doesn't have a future in all of this.
Yeah. You know why I think he lives? Because I don't trust my... You know how I said I was really hopeful that Jaime lives now that we've lost Theon and stuff? Mm. I don't trust that we'll keep Jaime, though. So that's why I'm like, well, then we gotta at least keep the Hound. You can't just kill everybody. So that's why I'm going to go with lives for the Hound. What about so the Mountain...
He's already
AF?
dead.
Yeah.
But yes.
Double dead.
I know. It's kind of
double down on it.
It's almost it's like an afterthought kind of a thing.
What? I mean, what if they get into another battle and he does the Oberyn move on the Hound and we just have to do that again?
Oh my God. No. All right. Gendry.
Lives.
Again, doesn't really... So in I can see lives. And I like the idea of him... in this new world. For me, I could foresee this new world, him taking over because you don't really know what's happening in the Stormlands, which was the original seat of the Baratheons. So where Renly was sort of ruling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I could foresee him becoming new House Baratheon.
Okay.
It's like a leader out in the... Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely see him living if Arya
dies in the first 3 minutes of the next
yeah,
episode
yeah.
for no reason.
Tormund. Oh, come on.
I originally thought dead, but I think Danny stated in the past episode, or it might have been both of you really actually. Him leading the
Yeah.
remains of the wildlings, and maybe they feel more comfortable up there.
It's like the Yara and the
they're almost-
Iron Islands thing. It's like he's the only.
They're almost free to return north now.
Yeah, but as hard as it is living up there, a lot of them thrived on that.
That was it was
culture.
That was their way of
culture,
life.
yeah.
And I could foresee him becoming like the king beyond the partial wall now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they take over the wall or live over in that. Know,
Yeah.
North enough.
rebuild.
Yep. All right. So Tormund lives. What about Sir Brienne of Tarth?
I'm still thinking dead. Like I know, like I really thought this was gonna be the episode she died, but I'm still thinking dead.
I think she lives.
Think so?
Are they? So I can see the argument for lives, but do you realize the list that we're making right now is almost counter to the one that we made when we first started this show? Like we're very pessimistic about the people who are going to die and stuff like that. Now that they haven't in the spot that we thought they were going to, it's like, oh, maybe they're going to live, and it's like that's exactly what Game of Thrones wants you to think.
Yeah.
Like so I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and I can't really remember exactly what I said on a lot of these. Some of these I do, but Brianna, I can't remember really where I pinpointed. I think I said dead, but now I do think alive. But could be wrong again.
nah, I'm going to stick with dead.
I think that if this was Lord of the Rings, she would absolutely be alive to represent the change, like a representative of change, being the first female knight, in Westeros and stuff. But this being the show that we're watching, and the fact that they gave us what they gave us in episode 2, and they already kind of threw an audible in there by not killing her off in that night, when everybody thought that would happen. I can only assume that she will still actually die by the end of
Precisely.
episode 6.
I can kind of almost see in Jaime faced with Cersei and can't pull the trigger on it, and Brienne for him does it, and instead of him being that he's the Kingslayer and now the Queenslayer, she takes that mantle now.
That would be really cool because
She
of the
takes
fact
it,
that
yeah.
she has been up to a certain point, up until around season 7 or so, she was pretty much the exact opposite of Jaime Lannister, and that was
And because she clearly, her and Jaime clearly have some talked about feelings and emotions, whether it's romance or whether it's just
It's
brotherly sisterly respect.
I don't think it's genuine
Yeah.
respect for one another.
I think they're just, both of them never been able to carry. They've already been through so much, and they've never been able to care about another soldier in such a way. But yeah, I do see a kind of Jaime not being able to do it because it's a sister, also possible mother of if she is pregnant, which I think we do declare that she is, or it's been confirmed. I think that she is. I think Brienne takes that stab, and then because there could be some line like, "Oh, are you a Kingslayer? You're going to be the Queenslayer too?" And she just no,
Nah, bitch.
and she does it.
yeah. Okay. What about Podrick?
God, I hope he
Squire.
lives. I like Podrick.
Yeah.
He's a fun little guy.
Well, you
He's
just
got to
confirmed
spread his
dead.
magic throughout
Yeah.
the realm.
He's gonna write like romance novels and like how-to like players guides and stuff like that.
Sings the songs and the tales of the battle against the dead.
Man, I think Podrick lives, but I am starting to feel like I am being very...
Again, he just feels like a casualty that could happen in this last war.
It could, yeah,
True.
and it could fuel Brienne.
No, I again like there's like
It could what? Oh,
there's-
fueler? Oh,
Fuel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Samuel.
No, yeah,
he
he's gotta
lives.
live.
Lives.
Again, like it's almost frustrating
If
at this
he's
point.
not
but
dead now, he's living.
Yeah, if you're gonna if you're gonna show us what you did, in
there's
The
a part
Long
of me
Night.
that straight up believes that he won't. Again, he won't even leave the north for this battle. There's no point for him to go south.
Yeah,
I mean,
that could be true. Okay. Well, Gilly and Little Sam live.
Yeah.
I was really I when that crypt stuff happened. I mean, a lot of people were saying that the writers played it a little bit safe. Do you think that if they had taken out Gilly and and
You
or
could
little
have
Sam.
kept little Sam alive, but Gilly could have been a
Yeah,
good kill off. I
yeah,
think.
that could
Yeah,
have been a
that
big
could have
deal.
been a good story.
Sort of like really screw with Sam's head. Like, where am I supposed to be in this kind of a fucking battle situation? Okay, well, Missandei.
Live.
Okay,
I like a world with her in it.
I agree.
Like, do we think so? Do you feel the same way about her and her betrothed? Like, do you think they're both going to live at this point?
Yes, I think there's one happy relationship, and it's that.
I just feel like I'm being tricked.
I kind of think, I guess because I agree with Derek, I absolutely want Missandei to live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
I don't know about that one.
But if she can get her hands on that
necklace.
that was
run out and get that.
That
but,
forever bling.
But I kind of think Grey Worm lives and she dies.
You think so?
I think that's going to be out of all, because we've already gone through a huge chunk of these characters, pretty much all of the main characters already. I think that would be one of those reversals, because I don't think that we're not predicting reversals in any of these other ones, like, say, for example, Cersei living, and we all just predicted Cersei would die. We're predicting the Mountain will die between the Mountain and the Hound. We're predicting Dany's going to die. I don't know. I guess I just think that would be sort of like a little reversal.
There's really no spot for her to die, if I'm being honest. Like, it just doesn't seem.
But her being so near, by Dany's side all of the time, and if we're predicting that Dany's going to die somehow, I wonder if she's on that same.
Because was she in the crypts as well? She had to have been.
Yeah,
in the crypts,
she was in
right?
the crypts.
She set Sansa straight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Which one was?
So you
That's
gonna
right.
You gonna talk about my queen behind her back? Boo. She got it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we're a little on the fence with Missandei Grey.
I just don't. Just as a whole, I don't see it.
Okay.
If there's gonna be any couple that makes it through it fully, it'd be those two, I think.
Okay. Jan Royce. I mean, we didn't see him at all in the last episode. So does he get some sort of heroic?
Derek wants to know
Death
who Jan
moment?
Royce is.
He is the
100%
leader of the Knights of the Vale. He's the guy who constantly stares everybody in the face and goes,
"Oh yeah,
my lady." Like
the guy who kind of just looks like a. I mean, they're
like a turtle,
turtle-ish, but also like he has a bird face. Like, I mean,
yeah. Do you remember Tyrion approaching Sansa in episode 1, and he goes,
it's the older gentleman that was the leader of the Knights of the Vale.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And he's okay. The one was like, "Why aren't there?"
I'm not certain he's alive. Like, I know we didn't see him.
You know what? I wasn't either. Apparently, he's pointed out as being there when everybody's cheering Dany in this little preview clip for episode 4.
Right.
That is from other people. I did not confirm that, but apparently he's still alive.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I'd assume. Like, again,
Thanks for the assist, too, Danny.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's just like, I was like, not this one. Not this one.
I'm gonna be quiet during this one. No, probably dead. I'll say dead.
Yeah.
Seems like an easy one to
I
kill
guess
off.
I'm going to say alive just because I don't know why he wouldn't have gotten his little moment in this.
Yeah, I don't really see any benefit or put forward with any story for him living or dying. Like,
Yeah, he
Well,
might.
if he dies, seriously, who's keeping Robin in check at all?
I know.
Like, Robin could end up.
I
being
didn't
like,
because Robin's still alive. I didn't put him on this list.
What's he even doing?
I don't know. He's
Probably playing Fortnite. Like,
Drogon and Rhaegal.
I think they've got to die.
You think both? You think we're left with 0
I
dragons
think
at
we're
the end
left
of the
with
story?
zero dragons at the end of the story.
I like that. Yeah, I like it. It's sad.
It's like
but
it's the tipping of the scales. Like, I mean,
I hope like one of them leaves, but like all of a sudden, like you just see some eggs in like in a corner somewhere.
Okay.
Like they
Not like the closing shot of the series, but like you just know.
no,
that
just like there's a talk about it, whatever, and just all of a sudden like maybe in like somewhere like in the woods or something like that, we see some eggs.
Okay.
Like one moves.
What about Ghost and Nymeria?
I think we've probably seen Nymeria for the last time.
Yeah, I think that's it for Nymeria.
That was just like a callback to like seeing her again.
Yeah, I think you'd lose a lot of that on a rewatch if she still came back again.
Well, didn't she say that wasn't you at the end?
Exactly, like saying, well, she was saying like, yeah, you're not meant to be, you're not a part of this. You got your own thing
it's not
going
for
on.
you to you're not.
It was a callback to when Arya was saying, "That's not me," when Ned was telling her, "One day you're going to be married to a lord, and you're going to have all," and she's just like, "That's not me." All right, so the end of Nymeria. What about Ghost though?
Ghost is unkillable, apparently.
It seems to be true.
Charges into the army of the dead,
And with this
chilling by a fire like a good ass boy.
with this big push that the actors are doing outside the show to really promote people to stop adopting huskies, because people aren't really aware of the task really going into raise a husky, especially in California and the LA area. It's not their environment. It's too hot. I had a husky. There's a lot to cater to. They're also high energy. They're just a different breed altogether, and a lot of people are getting them just because the show. And then there's literally shelters filling up with just huskies because of the show, and because of that, I don't think they're gonna kill Ghost. I think it's just been one of those things. It's just like, all right, well,
I think if Ghost was going to die, it would have been written in before all of that. But
true, but yeah.
I don't know. I
think it's weird. For me to
John
say.
can't lose the dragon and the wolf. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
or maybe he can.
Oh, yeah. I would have preferred Ghost to die in this last episode if he was going to die.
Well, if he
I
was
guess
Like
I
an
can say
off-screen
that.
thing, though. That was the thing. I'm like, did he just die like off-screen? Like,
Oh yeah, not in the way that it would have been implied. Yeah.
But if John dies, then he loses the dragon and the wolf anyway. So
Oh,
well, John's not gonna die.
touche.
Fight me.
Harry Strickland, the guy leading this golden company that we've only just met. I mean, do you think?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see a bit more of that.
I don't think any reason for him to die. But at the same time,
other than
the Game of Thrones,
the Golden Company losing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm still very I'm very
I don't think he
suspicious about whether or not they end up breaking their first contract ever since they wanted to keep dropping so many.
Yeah, at this point, it's just a
lines
business
about that.
move. It's not really like you're not really to blame for it. This is a business move.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so do you think these last three characters, real quick, you think we ever see Hot Pie again?
No.
No, you done?
Other than the closing scene of the show when he sits on the Iron Throne.
Okay, yeah.
But
Eating
yeah. He sits there because he needs
hot
a good
pies
sit.
for everyone.
So what happened over in Winter Hell? And fucking
Yeah, no, we've probably seen the last of Hot Pie, but for his own benefit, he is the quintessential character who is existing in a world where so much stuff is going around him, but he couldn't be more oblivious to it. Like, just
yeah, that's cool.
doesn't.
Hey,
even-
when you have a hobby, that happens.
Tycho Nestoris, the Iron Bank character. Do you think we see him again? You think he just played, whatever role he
Probably played the
got his
role.
point across?
Yeah.
I think it was just his role.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna like come over and try and collect, like some sort of hitman or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, my understanding is he's already got paid.
oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, and then he invested, but then he reinvests, right? Like
Did he? Is that what it was?
she pays him back with the stuff from Highgarden,
Right.
so that they will be willing to front her the cash for the Golden Company.
That's a hustle move.
Yeah.
That's business.
Mira Reed. Will we see Mira Reed again? She was so mistreated. She got such a shitty send off.
She did. I don't know. There's the scene in the episode previous to this where they're basically saying that like anybody north of us is now part of.
Yeah, if they're not
army.
here, they're
Yeah.
the Army of the Dead. Yeah, so. But then again, I am still very, very curious to see where they're going to get any help from.
I mean, that could just be them being super glum. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
they would actually know. I mean,
though Night King sort of had like his again. There are places off to the side that like wouldn't have been touched. Presumably, I mean, like
Yeah.
because they came from Eastwatch and straight down.
yeah.
So that would have been, in my opinion, like there's a lot of areas to the west that like should
Yeah.
have been relatively unaffected.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much everybody that we think is left to deal with one way or the other in Westeros for these last 3 episodes of the show, right? Is there anybody you think I forgot? I know there's like Maester Wolken. He's like the newest Maester over there helping Sansa out. But I mean, I don't think that that's like a significant.
No one dired to the story.
Okay. All right. Well, that pretty much. I mean, that kind of like wrapped. It's sort of a part 2 to the episode 3 review from last episode of the podcast. But you guys want to expand a little bit? Give us a little bit of freedom. We can reach outside of. We can pull from outside of Game of Thrones when we talk about this. But spoiler talk. I know that, Derek, you had several key moments of this last Game of Thrones episode spoiled for you because people seem to insist on posting their reactions immediately on platforms that maybe are not the best platforms for those kinds of reactions.
Yeah. But, yes. Watching this, the Sharks playoffs is going on right now. People who listen to Retalks know that I'm big on the Sharks. It's happening at the same time that Endgame came out, and the same time this the long night. It's just been a very emotional week for me. So, unfortunately, the Sharks had played that same Sunday. So I was watching that first with friends. Went home. Started to cook some food to eat while watching the show.
Decided to get on the internet.
Okay, but decided to get on the internet like everyone does every day. I don't buy into this whole, well, you shouldn't, well, you know, but no. It's if we're fans of this thing, we should be appreciative towards each other, respectful towards each other. The hashtag no spoilers shouldn't stop with Endgame.
Though it was really good for Endgame, if I'm being honest.
And Marvel fans and fandoms alike everywhere I'd say 95% did an amazing job. You guys are all great for doing it. But why does it stop at Endgame? Why in this important week that everyone's talking about both, it only affected one? I don't buy into this like, well, everyone's like, well, that's your fault for getting on the internet. No, it's as a fan who wouldn't want it spoiled to them. Not everyone can watch it at the same time. Not everyone's going to. Some people are at work. Some people don't have HBO, so they watch it later at a friend's house or something. There's different scenarios. There's 100 different ways it can go down. But everyone knows everyone's not watching at the same time. So why would you ruin it for someone else when you know how you would feel if it had been ruined for you?
Yeah.
And there's this appreciation to each other's fandoms that we need to respect. And for some reason, it fell off after Endgame. And
Endgame was such a hard one for people to hold in, probably. That's what it was.
Okay, I get that.
They had to say something.
But and everyone's just like, okay, 22 movies. We've been doing this for 11 years now, waiting for that. Okay, but it's been 8 years, maybe a little. It's been about 8 years with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's just as the very first scene had White Walkers in it, and now we're about to have the giant battle against the Night King. The argument is still there. We have been waiting for this night as well. We didn't know it was necessarily going to be this night until the season release of the schedule and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's been hyped. It's been hyped up for this week, just like it's been Endgame. And for people to hold it in a different regard to Endgame, everyone's argument in my mind falls through. Well, you should know better than getting. No, you should know better than posting all these spoilers. How would you feel as fandom?
Yes. But I think you're really taking into account that there are people like the people is full of internet, like the internet is full of people that give a shit. Some people honestly just do this
with the no spoilers
for the nature of just
doing it,
being this person. Yeah. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I agree, but there's also with this no spoilers thing that was coming on, and everyone was doing such a good job. I showed some hope and thought
humanity.
Yeah,
and humanity
thought
said
that it was
no.
going to continue on, but no. There's and I will dabble into what two things were. It was a spoiler and a half, really, but. I get on while I'm cooking, just, seeing what the world's up to. I knew Game of Thrones was on, but at the same time, I'm allowed to get on the internet. Everyone should be allowed to go and check their shit.
Yeah.
And the very first thing is from someone I never, ever see post. It's someone I met a while back. Friendship never really happened, but we were on Facebook friends. I never see this person post ever. And the very first thing is a post of It says Jorah, crying face. And yes, I knew this would be the episode where Jorah goes. Like it's a lot of the signs point to yes. Like, but I just to read it before sucked. Yeah. Then I did get on again to post. A lot of people have not seen this yet. Please stop posting spoilers. #no spoilers, which I did post. But when I got on to do it because I was so upset, that same person who now I've only seen one post ever from, now I'm seeing a second, and it's the still that she took a picture from her TV of the Night King holding up Arya. Now there's no dagger in it. You can't see the dagger in her hand. You just see, oh shit, I'm thinking Arya's going to die. And I'm just fucking livid. I was just upset. And once again, yes, at that point, I should not have gotten back on after already realizing people suck. But I got back on to say, quit being sucky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I don't buy into this whole, well, Derek, you know how this is. No, let's be better.
It should be different. I agree. It should
let's
be different.
Be better. I don't buy into this. This is how it is. No, let's change it. If we can do #no spoilers for Endgame, why? And I know
there still were spoilers for Endgame. I mean,
they were
less frequent.
I agree. There was, like, I was sitting in a sandwich shop and someone was just talking about it out loudly. I was like, dude, But at the same time, we got to be better at this. Like, and for everyone who's like, well, but so we're just going to sit by and let this happen. Okay, we're not going to be better fans and be more appreciative and respectful towards each other's fandoms. We're gonna just shit on each other. I think we're terrible fans towards each other.
Yeah, I think where the disappointment comes from, because I had the majority of season 7 of Game of Thrones spoiled for me just trying to be a super fan. Mm-hmm.
You found the article, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
What happened is I was subscribed to all these YouTubers that they dedicated their lives to Game of Thrones coverage, so they were making videos constantly, hyping things up for season 7 or during season 7. And what these clowns would do sometimes is they felt it was so important to them that everybody still knew that they're in the loop, they're in the know, they know everything. So what they would do is they would say, I'm not even going to talk about this spoiler stuff about the blah, blah, blah. And they would still then say what the spoiler thing was that I had successfully avoided because I don't go looking for it.
Yeah.
Here I am trying to watch a video that's supposed to be hyping up the season, but you got to be so cool, make sure all your other YouTubers know that you're
aware.
And so you still then say the thing. And so that was very, very disappointing for me. So I can absolutely empathize with people that do get very livid with the spoiler stuff. Now, I unsubscribed from all those people. That's just that's the decision I had to make. I just unsubscribed from them. If that happened to me again this year, I think it would be 100% my fault, right? But I can see where it's sort of like, especially at a time where it's the exact same week as all of the successful Avengers spoiler shutdown stuff. Overall, very successful. People seem to have a lot of fun with the hashtag don't spoil the end game, all this kind of stuff. And I think that's what makes it disappointing, is to be like, wait, is it the same fucking people, though, that then just decided to blurt all this stuff out?
Yeah.
I can see why that's frustrating.
Well, they understand that not everyone's going to be able to see it the first weekend because of sellout and all that stuff. So, okay, people are going to be seeing it the next weekend. But everyone's going to watch Game of Thrones Sunday night.
Yeah, if you're into Game of Thrones, that episode you're watching it that Sunday night. The thing is, there's different airings.
Different airings. But, not everyone can still watch it that night. But everyone's assuming. If anybody who matters is going to watch that night.
For me, I've never had the inkling, other than maybe like in a sporting event, like when I'm watching sports or something, to immediately live, sort of like live, not tweet, but like live post something that just happened or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm typically just watching it. Like I can get excited about like a sporting thing, and that's a whole. I don't think people get I have my uncle who still like records shit that happens forever ago. I'm like, yeah, but I have it on my phone. Like I can tell you the score right now. Like just because you can't see it now doesn't mean that's something that's happening live. It's not a staged production or whatever.
Right.
So that feels different.
Yeah.
But no, it just the idea that like your first instinct after seeing something is to then go post it. Like text somebody you know who's watching it. Like talk to somebody that you know personally who's already seen it. Don't do that. I mean, I even had someone who was on my timeline and they were posting shit just even later that night. So it was probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I was just like, why? No one's commenting on it. Like, what is your actual fucking point? Like,
you and your 60 followers or something like that. Like, well, I don't. My thing is, it's well said. Why are you doing it? Why you have to do it right then and there? That's a great point. Like, you're actually interrupting your own show. Yeah. Unless you're pausing it, which putting you behind, which I don't. But it's just, I deleted so many people that night, even after watching it. Because I already know now that you don't give a shit about spoiling stuff, and I don't want to see your feed for future things. You don't care now, you're not going to care then.
Yeah.
So I've lost some people. I actually enjoyed their posts, like throughout other things. Now there's certain posts like, "Oh my gosh, Game of Thrones tonight! I can't." Yeah. That's fine. That just makes me want to get in front of a TV faster. Yeah. Like there's like, "Oh my gosh!"
And again, that's all it should take. Like if you are reactionary like that and you feel the need to post. Do something like that.
Yeah. But to say character by character, action by action, stills, like, oh my God, like, get the fuck out of here.
I was on Twitter while it was airing because I am trying to see if I can build the audience for this show. So that's kind of why I went ahead and was engaging in any of that stuff. But I would not retweet anything it had to be very vague. It had to be like, oh my God, Game of Thrones, oh my God, that just happened. Or like somebody might like, they'll recall like a quote from like a few seasons ago because it just came full circle. Yeah. I was retweeting that, but there was like a very hard rule. Because I know what that feels like, and I'm not going to contribute.
No Arya in the Jordan pose?
No, none of that,
and it's just, like, we need to be better at it as fans. Everybody does. This can't be an okay thing. And it's the fact that it's gotten this far. Well, Derek, it's your fault. I don't buy it.
And you don't even have to frame it like that. No. Basically, it's just like, didn't everybody kind of like what we did with Endgame? Can we just do that with all of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just like, not even like, why would you be a hypocrite with this and not that? It's like, no, can you just see how awesome that was and how kind of like a cool moment in pop culture the Endgame decision was with the hashtag thing? Like, let's just kind of keep that up.
Yeah. And this whole spoiler ban being lifted with the Avengers as of Monday is, I was thinking, because one, there's a lot of contract stuff, press tours are over, everybody can talk about anything, but also it's a real good market push for them to hit $2 billion this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point. Yeah.
They're like, go see it now. Fuck, I gotta see it now. I'm going with friends tomorrow because fuck, I gotta see it now. So, it's
it's astonishing to me. So, like, we talked, you've not seen Endgame.
No, I have not.
But you don't know anything that happens in it.
I do.
Yeah,
I do because he's not like big on it. Like if he does something, it does get spoiled with him. I'm like very, very pro Marvel, and I'm like kind of like, I love that they make these films, but I've never shied away. I've never been bothered if somebody, I can't remember what film it started, but I had some stuff spoiled for me, maybe the first Avengers or something. And when I watched it, it didn't affect the quality of the film to me or how I reacted to the stuff. So I was like, you know what? I think with the comic book stuff, like, I'm just so like, I'm gonna see it. I want to be kind of like, I want to be aware of all the pop culture references because everybody's going to be referencing stuff that happens in these movies. But I'm not somebody who's desperately trying to avoid spoilers for that stuff.
Danny and I walking into the theater, if we heard anybody say anything, that person would have been set on fire.
Yeah.
So, that we argue about where things could go weekly almost with our friend Justin. It was just, and we've had the same conversations probably 100 times, but it's just like with a little bit of extra knowledge now, what does this change this discussion? And if anybody for some reason would just spoil something to us, we're like, slip
Yeah,
throat.
I mean, again, end of story. If you stop giving spoiler people any level of attention, they'd probably stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But that's I'm giving them no attention by deleting them. Like,
Because I didn't look for any, like, it wasn't like any Twitter accounts or anything like that where people were just dropping spoilers. I think it was like just those some of those videos where it's like, where's the MCU gonna go from here? And then, like, you know, those little 5-minute like ones. I've been watching those, and then obviously there's certain things that they just kind of mention, like, hey, if you're watching this, it sounds like you're aware of blah blah blah. And then so I've had that stuff spoiled in that sense. It didn't upset me. It didn't like bum me out where I was like I'll still go watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So and with that said, I feel like a lot of these media shows. Now, if you are a show like this, like if you haven't watched the last episode and you listen to this is.
Yeah, I don't accept any blame for spoiling the show for you.
This is what this show's about. It's a review show. It's not a preview. Well, kind of. This one's kind of a preview show.
Yeah,
but the second part,
prediction.
But if you, I think a lot of media things have also some responsibility. Like Rotten Tomatoes did a memoriam video for all the fallen in Game of Thrones
like
last
the next
episode.
morning.
The next morning posted it.
Yeah, that's a little quick. Yeah.
It's a fine line because we live in such an immediate sort of reactionary world with the internet the way it is. But we also, as a result, don't necessarily feel, because we're no longer in the spot where we have to watch everything when it happens because of DVRs and stuff of that nature. We can kind of watch it in our own time. So it's a finite area to work in.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, what's this Game of Thrones? Oh, what? Oh, that person died. What? And turn it off. Like, no, you.
And this episode is not an anomaly in that sense because I wasn't watching Game of Thrones during the period of time where like the Red Wedding episode aired. And I had that. I mean, I just saw an article that straight up spoiled that like the next morning too. Yeah. And obviously, I probably would have been more pissed off if I was invested in the show at that time. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it happens. It's been happening, and it's going to continue to happen.
Unfortunately,
but I think that the cool thing that people could maybe take from a conversation like this is that, I think most people feel like the Endgame stuff worked. And you can just try and have some fun with stringing people along, find a way to make it fun to keep the secrets. And that doesn't always mean make up fake spoilers, too, because that also acts as a spoiler. If you tell me in a stupid little press interview, like, oh, Davos, he ends up on the Iron Throne at the end. Well, now I know he does not end up on the Iron Throne at the end, or you would not have been able to make that joke. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's
so it's touchy. It's touchy. It's just when you're a really big fan of something, there's a lot of responsibility on you. But I think your argument holds a lot of weight because it's like, because of the exact timing of the event, surrounding being surrounded by all the Avengers stuff, the fact that everybody knows there's the East Coast West Coast difference, all of that stuff, and then the spoilers you got were the end of the episode. It wasn't like somebody spoiling.
Yes,
the Red Woman came back. Yeah. That's not as big of a deal.
No,
it's somebody who wanted to, and I know people who. I had somebody kind of. One time, they thought they were being cute, and they sort of tried to spoil the whole John R plus L equals J thing. And I could tell in the way that they were presenting the information, it was like very, very quickly they kind of like said it, and then we're like, oh, oops, were you not caught up yet? And it's like, I was, but I see what you were hoping to do.
Yeah.
And then I blocked that person forever. Yeah. And so I get it. Yeah, it sucks.
And then there's the people, like, I know I posted on social media about spoiling and all that stuff. I think I did a second one that was a lot longer about, I will delete you. And like, there's a lot of people, internet it's gonna poke fun a little bit, and I'm fine with that. But a lot of people just post Dumbledore dies, and it's just like, well, what? Okay, yeah, you're not really
Maybe
contributing.
they haven't seen Half Blood Prince yet.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, you're not really like. I know you're trying to be funny right now and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's just, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Come on. You're. Let's all be nice about spoilers. You can cuss each other out all you want, but don't spoil shit.
Agreed. So improvements needed.
For the fandom.
Yeah. So okay. So I mean that's about as much as we need to go into the spoiler stuff. Everybody knows it sucks, except for the people doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
I will delete you.
So we've got 3 weeks left of Game of Thrones stuff, and then I think another week after that they have a big, huge documentary piece that they're going to be releasing that HBO's putting out afterwards too. But Exoverse TV needs to start thinking about what I'm gonna do with this thing when Game of Thrones is over.
You need to find other shows in their final season and like jump on board with it.
Yeah, at the last second. Yeah, the Crashing on HBO.
I'm
that
not
one's
ready.
over.
Let's not talk about Crashing. Oh my god!
Are you sad?
I am so sad.
Yeah, I haven't watched season 3
started it yet
because I was so
started
bummed out finding out that it was done. So
I watched the finale of season 3. I'm like, man, this is finally starting to go right. And again, so the way it ends, without spoiling it,
sure.
I know that they
did. I know that they did consider to have themselves an ending.
it is an ending, in a
yeah.
lot of ways, but it's an ending that could have had more beginnings, I suppose. I thoroughly enjoyed the show in general, and I mean, like,
it could come back. There's so many platforms,
Like,
Hulu,
yeah,
Netflix. Anybody could pick it up, right? I mean, it doesn't. I mean, Westworld left HBO.
HBO is going to be in sort of like a weird sort of flux once Thrones is gone.
Pete Holmes is just a likable guy.
He is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just no, I really like the show, and
I wanted to start watching.
was super excited, like just where it was going, and then. But I was reading an interview where he found out, like, before the interview started, like, the show had got canceled. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like,
Oh, my God. Yeah. So Crashing is one that I could definitely go back and explore. I love the first 2 seasons. I haven't sat down and give season 3 my full attention yet. I think because I'm going to be watching it in sort of like this in memoriam sort of state of mind.
Yeah, no, I had no idea until like the next day. Like, oh god.
Oh, the next day after that you watched the finale
after it aired.
Oh
yeah.
shit! So you like thought like, where's it gonna go next? Oh damn it!
Nowhere. That's where.
But one show that I definitely do plan on talking about a lot is another HBO show, Barry. Have you watched any of that, Danny?
I watched season 1. I've got season 2 kind of like I want to generate some episodes into like the queue before I jump into it.
I think they're 4 deep now.
Okay.
I'm almost done with season 1. I just started 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
3 nights ago now.
2 or 3 nights
Wednesday.
at the most. Yeah.
Wednesday. I started Wednesday, and I'm all in.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
It's incredible. Yeah. So I want to talk about Barry. What'll likely happen with that show is by the time Game of Thrones season 8 is over with, this second season of Barry will also be over with. So I'll probably just do an episode, like a season 1 recap episode, and then a season 2 recap episode, and then we'll just sort of hope that we can get back onto it live when a season 3 comes around. So Barry is definitely something that's on the block there. The Tick is another fun one for me on Amazon Prime. I really liked the first season or 2 halves of a season that were released about a year ago. A very, very fun show. Have you watched any of that?
I have not.
I remember the old Patrick Warburton one.
I do. I did watch the original. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a while since
the cartoon.
I wouldn't want to sit here and act like I can give you a super accurate description of how the show feels because it's been a long time since I watched those season 1 episodes. But it is very, very fun, lighthearted. What's the guy's name that does? Is it Anthony Tudyk or
Alan Tudyk?
Alan Tudyk. He does like the voice of like the Danger Boat. All the characters are just super fun. Who's the name of the guy that plays Rorschach in?
It's Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah, so he plays the main villain in this show in The Tick, and so it's very, very fun casting. Goofy show. but it's a fun one. It'd be a fun one to talk about along with Barry, I think. I'm also interested in this Chernobyl
Chernobyl
miniseries
Sure, why
that's
not?
coming out. That's HBO as well.
HBO.
So-
Again, they're going to be in a transitionary period. Their big cash cow is going to be gone, but they've also got a couple things coming up that could be very interesting.
Yeah, so that premieres on this Monday, and it's going to be weekly episodes each Monday, a total of 6 of them. So I don't know right now if I would want to sort of discuss it week by week or wait until the whole thing is said and done and do one big review episode about that. Kind of just depends a little bit on how quickly I can also get my own setup available at my house, because once again, right now I'm here at the Retox podcast studios, and so I could start expanding to multiple episodes per week of the podcast, and then hopefully I'll figure that out. There is also Stranger Things is coming back again this summer.
It is.
Is that June or July?
It'll be July.
July?
I think it might even drop the 4th.
Whew.
Could be wrong, but I thought so.
Wow. So that's going to be
They
obviously
tend to
a huge
drop the seasons kind of
around holidays.
where the show is happening. So like episode 2
Yeah.
released around Halloween because it was a
Yeah.
Halloween type season.
Okay.
This one is like that summer camp, return home sort of thing. Yeah, no, again, another great show.
Yeah. So that one's a no-brainer. That one's definitely going to
Yeah,
be brought up on this podcast. And then another one that I had here that looked like it could have a lot of potential is a City on a Hill. It's going to be a Showtime series with Kevin Bacon that I guess is being produced or directed or both by Ben Affleck.
Okay.
So
I'll
that's
look into that one.
it
Sounds
looks
good.
it looks interesting to me. I only saw a couple of stills, and I was actually I found it while I was specifically intentionally looking for shows to talk about here. So it's not something I've been like hyped up on for weeks or months or anything like that. I just found out about it, but it looks really interesting. Did you guys have any? You guys had some suggestions for stuff that might be smart to.
I have 2.
Okay.
Go for it.
No, wait.
I have more than 2, so
Okay. So mine, like I said, there's going to be a huge void for HBO, but some of the things I've seen that they've sort of pushed seem to me that, again, like it could end up being a Westworld where it's like one great season and then a season that just sort of makes you question, like, okay, well, maybe you didn't really have anything past this one season. Like, maybe that should have been the end in the grand scheme. So they are adapting His Dark Materials, which is the Golden Compass series. I don't know like the entirety of it, but I have a friend who's really into it. I know years ago they tried to make like a very kid friendly movie, and he was very distraught by that. He's like, because it's a dark ass.
which is it?
His Dark Materials.
That's what it's called. His Dark.
That's
Materials?
what the name of the show will be. It's a combination of the Golden Compass and the 2 other books by God, I can't think of his name.
Is it the same characters and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
So the culmination of it, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that I brought it up to him, and he's like, dude, if they could ever do like an adult version of this,
Yeah.
it would be great. Like they fucked up by trying to make like giant CGI polar bears and stuff
Right,
like that.
I
That's
see.
where they sort of messed it up. And then HBO is adapting The Watchmen.
That was on my list.
Ooh.
Boom. Sorry, I didn't know.
No, that's fine. No, no.
That's awesome.
If we can hit our list, I don't have.
I think I had heard that before and forgot.
Because
So that's pretty cool.
Watchmen is a phenomenal story that they tried to fit into like it felt like 18 hours long. But
Yeah.
I think it was like 2.5 hour long movie.
Yeah.
And I read it right before it came out. They did a phenomenal job with the allotted time they were given.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was too much to fit into a movie.
But what they
when they
did,
made that
yeah.
movie, these sort of things didn't exist. These episodic sort of
True.
series, which it in all likelihood should have been.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. If they'd waited just a couple years, that
They
could
jumped
have
the gun
been
on
one
it.
of like
Yeah.
the first.
And it's unfortunate
iconic,
because
like-
again, like we discussed, like you said it, like Jackie Earl Haley to me is Rorschach. He was a
Yes.
phenomenal Rorschach.
Yeah.
He's not going to play it in this series, so that'll be an interesting take.
They are going
Even
to.
someone like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the comedian
Yeah.
was in his limited role very good.
Now, I may
Yeah.
be mistaken, but also I think they're going into the history of the Watchmen more too, not so much.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not necessarily.
Whereas they couldn't
the
really touch on
comic,
that
yeah.
in a 2.5 hour
Yeah.
movie.
Yes, so it will be interesting. that one I am looking forward to.
So a lot of
they've already kind of hinted at it in some of the advertising and on HBO.
Are we going to get to see Billy Cruduup's penis for the entirety of it again, though? That's what I really care about.
If there's
just
not,
hanging brain the entire time.
If there isn't, there will not be a season 2.
You're right. Yeah. Well, but you're saying this is going to be back in. You're saying this is more like 60s stuff?
Throughout the book, it kind of goes. They talk a lot about the original Watchmen group, like the heroes that band together. And in the movie, they were more kind of like slow motion look backs, where
because it'll be fine. It'll be fun to watch season 1 for like clues as to what happens to his like penis. You know what I mean? like foreshadowing.
Was it always so big?
yeah.
Kind of like the prenis.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that was on my list. I think that one would be an excellent one to discuss.
But again, HBO's at a point where I think that most of the stuff they make turns into gold, and like those are ones I'm keeping my eyes on.
And a lot of it has to do topical issues with our history, with America's history.
Yeah.
So that will be also a great discussion.
Yeah, that will be really good. It's nice that HBO is taking that on if that's the kind of stuff material they're going to focus on. So that'll be real nice.
What was your second one? Oh no, those were the two. Danny, those were the two.
Those were my two. Yes.
Okay. We mentioned Barry. We mentioned Stranger Things, Watchmen. I think the only one on my I have a few, but like the American Gods I just got turned on to.
Yes.
Season 2 just ended. It's fantastic. I'm on season 2 currently, and it just really dives into the different religions and gods and how they've intertwined being brought to America.
Yeah, so as somebody who I have not watched the show, I believe I've seen some little TV clips or whatever. Mm-hmm. So these are gods from from mythology,
yes,
pulled from all types of religious texts,
and
but they're
immigration
living in
America, in modern day America, and when it's a belief system. What those who believe. You bring them with you. So when they travel to America, they are now
okay. That's cool.
It's new land for them too as gods. So now it's modern day. It's really fantastic.
Okay, so that might be something to check out. I'll have to. What's that?
It's on Stars.
Stars. Okay.
Yeah. It's on Stars, and I don't want to get too much into spoiling like plots and synopsis, and
right?
Whatever, but.
How deep into the show are they? 2 seasons?
2 seasons, and I think it's only 8 episodes each.
Okay.
I think 8 or 10, but
digestible.
Yes, and it's just a lot of fun lore and playful ideologies of religion and supernatural kind of realms. So it's really, really fun.
Nice.
We could possibly talk about Good Omens. That's about to start, I believe, May 31st or end of May. It's I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it or anything, but the cast looks fantastic. It's David Tennant and Michael Sheen, John Hamm's in it, Benedict Cumberbatch,
wow,
Miranda Richardson, Michael McKean, Nick Offerman, and Frances McDermott.
Damn,
yeah, they're all in it. I'm sure they're not like all of this isn't just main cast. The main it involves David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Those are the two, and but it has.
I like Michael Sheen a lot. He's great.
Yeah, and they just fantastic cast for this first season, and I'm actually looking forward to it. May 31st.
Sweet.
That was something I was interested in, and think might stir up. David Tennant. David Tennant has a huge following, and I think if you're a fan of David Tennant,
I am blanking on. I'm not putting a face to that right
Doctor
now.
Who. He's in
David Tennant. Did you see?
He was in Harry Potter.
Very briefly.
Oh, I just had.
He's the. Did you watch Doctor Who at all?
First picture.
I have not. Oh, cool. I do like that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a huge following.
But I haven't seen him on that show. I haven't seen Doctor Who at all. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was the second of the newer edition.
Okay.
Since 9.
Cool.
Or whatever. That was one that hasn't started yet, so we could start with it.
Nice.
If it falls, we fall with it.
Right.
But, yeah. Westworld and True Detective. Those have been quite controversial in the past years because Danny brought up Westworld. The first maybe should have been its last.
The first season was so very good, and
Yes.
I honestly just feel like the second season was a swing and a miss.
It really was. They could have just not been prepared for it, or maybe it's a build we weren't ready. We don't know about for the third. I don't know, but it going to Amazon and from HBO to Amazon, I feel like they're going to lose a lot of people considering those who usually have HBO don't necessarily have Amazon, or vice versa. Or I don't know. People could have everything. I don't know. Maybe it's just.
I'm not sure what to expect as far as how different the production would look moving to a different platform like Amazon. I would imagine it would not change very much. I would hope that a show that's already 2 seasons deep, the people who bought it and decided they were going to move it over to their platform knew what the hell they were, and they're not going to plan on changing that. I did not enjoy the second season as much as the first, but
Same.
But I'm okay with the show. I will trust that they have a plan, and I might not be happy by the end of the third season, but I'm not too bothered yet.
Yeah, I'll give a third season a shot.
I fell in love with the first season enough that the second season was a disappointment, but I didn't feel like they don't know what they're doing anymore. I just felt like I assumed it was. I wasn't paying enough attention this year. Is kind of what I told myself, and I was like, I think that's the mistake I made. Now that this is the first time I've talked about Westworld with anybody else, now knowing that other people also kind of weren't super.
When you watched season 1, did you watch it episodically, week by week, or did
Yes.
you watch? Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I watched it kind of consecutively, and I think that not like sat down and watched every single one of them, but I watched it after it was out, and I could watch it at my a couple episodes at a time.
Okay.
My thing is that maybe season 2 didn't resonate with me because I was watching it episodically, week having to stew over it week. But again, I
Well, doing that week by week, were you then when the next episode would air, were you finding yourself disappointed because you thought the twist was this and it was something else, or that they just didn't even answer those questions?
I genuinely believe my disappointment didn't really even set in until the finale.
Okay.
Yeah, that's again it was okay, this is a slow burn, but they did this in the last season too. There was some slow burn, and I just think the payoff wasn't as good this time.
Yeah. I agree and I know that that's true because I can barely even remember it compared to the first season.
Kind of, yeah. I can tell you extensively a lot of the things that happened in the first season, and I've watched the second more recently.
True Detective is the same thing. First season, everyone loved it. Second season had a huge fallout.
I mean, it was, but again,
I liked it.
I'll level with you. Season 1, still not really even that great of a show. I just think it was great acting.
Yes,
I think overall the story was kind of meh. But it was
killed
Woody Harrelson and it was Matthew McConaughey just wrecking shit.
Yeah, I mean, cast for season 2 also really well,
Really good.
Just people didn't care for it because they thought it was still going to go into that southern, deep neck of the woods kind of detective. I don't know, but it was.
Did you watch 3 with Mahershala?
I have not watched it yet, but I plan to. I know that is on my list to watch. Mahershala. He's great.
Yeah.
But that's something. If we wanted, we could. I don't know. I don't know if the following is still strong enough for either one of those shows. 2 shows that fans won't let go of. Fans loved these shows so much that they need more. Deadwood and Breaking Bad. Deadwood's movie we just found out right before we started recording. Their movie, they've been off the air for a while, and their movie actually is slated to air May 31st. So that'd be a lot of binging right before that.
Yeah. There's a lot of TV, a lot of stuff to pick from, which is obviously such a first world problem to have. Such a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we got a lot of options, really, lots of stuff that we can dive into. I haven't gotten really too much feedback yet outside of this room about the podcast, but if anybody's out there listening and has any suggestions of their own or sort of wants to vote yay or nay on any of the shows we just mentioned, you can always hit me up on Twitter at ExoverseTV. You can hit me up on Facebook at Exoverse Media. these guys, Derek and Danny, you can follow their show at the Retalks Podcast. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter. You guys got any sort of like closing statements? Any?
No, dude. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me for as long as you did today. This is awesome. Two episode day.
Yeah. This one might even be longer than the other one.
It's absolutely nuts because I showed up here thinking that I had reduced my notes compared to previous episodes, and that I was going to split this into two 45-minute episodes, and each one of them ended up being an hour and a half still anyway. So
yeah, don't plan for time.
Yep.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, but that's okay. You guys don't either. If you made it this far, you guys did just fine. So, so thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. We'll talk about Game of Thrones, season 8, episode 4. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.
I said cheers. We don't do that here. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on some other things happening on the Exoverse Media website. Some friends of mine in Texas released a new song. Check out The Final Burial on the Exoverse Media website. Just click on the music tab and select The Final Burial right there. There's links to their Twitter, Instagram, Facebook pages, and you can stream their new track, Extinction, right there on their page on the Exoverse Media site. You can also check out thefinalburialtx.bandcamp.com for more information on how to follow them and other tracks that are available to stream right there. So go ahead and check them out. Thank you, guys.